again, everyone. So, if it looks like I'm wearing the same outfit, it is because I am. I have a full day today with nobody home, so I figured, why not? I'll just record another video. I don't have any time the rest of the week to do it again, so here I am. Today is another tag. It is the Bookish Academy Awards tag, and it was created by Kayla from Bookadoodles, who also tagged me to do this, and I'm so excited to do it. It took me a while. It took me a while to come up with the answers for all of these, and I tried my hardest to think of different answers from her. So I think I have one book that's the same as hers, and I just could not think of another one. Like, when I saw her give this answer, I was like, that's what I would say. So I couldn't think of another one. All the other ones should be different though, and I tried to do what she did as well and not use the same book for every answer. So I think there's one that's the same. Basically, there's no real questions, it's just categories for the awards. So the first category is Best Actor, which she made into Best Male Protagonist, and that is Yagami Light from Death Note. I absolutely loved these books when I was young. So I reread this series this past year, and I absolutely loved it, although I only own the first 3 bind-ups, so I need to get the other 3. Yagami Light is such an interesting character to read. Most books you read about, you're reading the good characters and their defeat against the bad characters. Here you kind of have the perspective of the bad guy. That's the cool thing about this book, is that he's not bad at first. He's really just a regular teenager, and he slowly but surely becomes that evil character that you love to hate. So I'm going to say Yagami Light. The second category is Best Actress, which was turned into Best Female Protagonist. For Best Female Protagonist, I chose Saba from the Dustlands trilogy. I absolutely loved this trilogy. I don't think this trilogy gets enough hype. I think a lot of people are turned off by the writing style of it, but I love it, and it's one of my favorite stories. And Saba is one of those characters that is really strong and goes for what she wants, and I love those kind of female characters. I really hate the standoffish ones, the shy, the ones that are always doubting themselves. She's a really powerful character, and she's funny. She's sarcastic in a mean way a lot in the book, especially towards the male protagonist in this story, and I just love it. I love it so much. This first book was amazing, and a third book's coming out soon, and I cannot wait to read it. Category number 3 is Best Cinematography, which was turned into Best Plot Twist. For that category, for me at least, there is no other book that compares when it comes to plot twists and surprising the hell out of me, and that is the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. Every single chapter ends with something surprising happening, usually somebody dying. I don't know. But I absolutely am loving this series. I just started this series this year, so it's kind of my obsession right now. And I tried my hardest not to pick characters from this book for all the categories because I really wanted to. But no, I'm just going to say that this one has the most surprising plot twists, crazy storylines that I've ever seen, and I absolutely love this book series. Next category we have is Best Costume Design, which was turned to Best Book Cover. My newest favorite book cover that I have is The Bitter Kingdom by Ray Carson. I like all 3 of the book covers, but blue is my favorite color, and I absolutely love this book cover, how it looks so wintry and awesome. And did I mention that I love the color blue? Yes. So there's this cover. Best Supporting Actress and Actor, which was turned to Best Male and Female Sidekick. So for the male sidekick, he wasn't really a sidekick so much as a secondary character in the series, and that is Magnus Bane from both the Immortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I loved him. He was my favorite character in this book series. Him and Simon, but Simon doesn't really become my favorite till later. Throughout the books, he gets cooler and cooler. The very first book, though, I fell in love with Magnus Bane and his character, and he's just awesome and funny and just amazing, and I love him. For Best Female Sidekick, I chose Christina from the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth. I loved her character. She was a strong-willed character. I even think a lot of times she was stronger than Tris. Like, Tris hesitated a lot of times, while Christina would just be like, well, let's go in and do it. And the fact that she's candor and she's just like very truthful, even when the truth hurts, it's just awesome. So, Christina. Next is Best Original Screenplay, which was turned into Most Unique Plot or World. So there's several books that I could say for this category, but I chose them in other categories. So for this one, I chose the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, as well as the Heroes of Olympus series right there. Absolutely love this world, the way that Rick Riordan uses the mythology in it, and a lot of the mythology is true to the original, although, you know, he had to twist it a little bit to match the storylines, but he keeps true to a lot of who the characters from the original mythology is, and his writing style is so hilarious and funny, and I absolutely love this series and the other one. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Book to Movie Adaptation. I seriously could not think of another book to movie adaptation that I loved more than Catching Fire, which is the answer that Kayla gave in her tag. So we all know that one was awesome. I'm just going to say one that I'm really, really excited for and very much anticipating coming soon, and that one is the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. The movie trailer looks really hilarious and funny, and although the actual book series itself is not particularly funny, I think that was a good way to go with the movies because nobody's going to take vampires seriously, so they're kind of making fun of themselves in doing it in a comedic way. And I loved that they did that because otherwise this would have gotten really low ratings had it been taken seriously as a movie. Probably going to beg my boyfriend to go take me to see it on Valentine's Day, even though that's not really his idea of a good Valentine's Day, but we will see. Next we have Best Animated Feature, which was turned into a book that would work well in animated format. I seriously could not think of one at all, so I kind of cheated and chose this one because it's already animated, and that is Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. I couldn't think of another one. This is already an anime, so it's an animated series already, and it has a couple movies out for it too, so kind of cheated in that, but I really couldn't think of anything. But the anime is amazing for this, so if you have not seen the anime for this, Brotherhood especially, go watch it. Go watch it. And then we have Best Director, or a writer you discovered for the first time. That was pretty hard to choose, but if I had to choose one that I wanted to show you all, Sarah J. Maas. She is the author of the Throne of Glass series. There are 2 books out right now, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, which I have right there. I absolutely flew through these books and cannot wait for the rest of this series. I think it's supposed to be a long series, so I'm super excited about that. I want to say like 6 books or so is what she was planning. I don't know. This is just like hearsay. This is what I'm hearing people say. And it's such an interesting fantasy. You all know how I'm into my fantasy right now, and this is a YA fantasy awesomeness about a great female character. I could have chosen her for Best Female Protagonist, but I love several female protagonists, and I wanted to show her for this because I do love Sarah J. Maas's writing style, so that's why I wanted to choose this book for this particular category. Best Visual Effects or Best Action in a Book. Without a doubt, I think we could all agree that Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling had the best action scenes in it. The end of this book with the war, you know, the movie was amazing in itself, but the book just had so much more action in it than the movie did. The whole thing with all the creatures they didn't even mention from the book. I read this book in one sitting when it first came out. This is the newer covers for them. I actually lost a lot of my older books, so I went ahead and repurchased the series. Plus I wanted these covers because they're just gorgeous. But yes, we can all agree, I think, on the action in this book and how epic it is, and its epicness makes it awesome. So yeah, that makes sense for me. Best musical score or best music in a book to movie adaptation. I don't really listen to a lot of movie music a whole lot, so I can't really answer this. And this is where I repeat a book, and it's not really a movie, so the only thing I can think of is the opening theme for the Game of Thrones HBO series, and you know, I find myself like whistling it to myself or humming it to myself, mostly because I'm obsessed with this show and this book series right now. That's why I even actually changed my ringtone to the opening theme song. So I'm just going to say the opening theme song to the Game of Thrones series. Best short film or best novella or short book. So this is a middle grade series. They're really short books, usually 100 to 200 pages or so. And I've read the first 3 books in the series and enjoyed all 3 of them. And those are Tales from Lovecraft Middle School by Charles Gilman. These are really, really short books, and I enjoyed all of them. And of course, the covers are really cool. I haven't gotten the 4th one yet, and I really, really want it, but I'm just getting back into purchasing books again, so hopefully soon I will be collecting that. If you like middle grade series and you haven't started this one, I highly, highly suggest it. It's really good. Second to last category is Best Picture or Best Standalone Book. This is where I could not think of another answer, so I'm going to say Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I read this back in either January or February. I borrowed it from the library, read it in like a day, and then said, why don't I have my own copy of this? So I immediately went out and bought my own copy, and it is just amazing, and the storyline is so unique and interesting, and I think, like Kayla said before too, it's got a lot of cool 80s pop culture references in it, and just the fact that it has to do with video games is cool because, I don't know why storylines with video games in them interest me, because I'm actually not a huge video game player. I don't know, but it's an awesome book and I love it. And I will be rereading this year because it's just one of my favorite books. Last but not least, we have Best Documentary or Best Historical Fiction or Nonfiction Book. So you all know I do not read nonfiction books, so I chose from the Best Historical Fiction book, and I think if you've been keeping up with my channel, you know which book I'm about to say because I've rambled about this book in numerous videos, and that is The Bronze Horseman Trilogy by Paulina Simons. This is a historical romance. It is set in Russia during World War II. It is probably the best written love story I've ever read. And I only have the last book in the trilogy to read, and that is definitely going to be finished this year at some point because I have several series where I just have the last book to read. I don't know why I keep doing that, but there's like 4 or 5 of them and I need to do it now. So I'm probably going to do a video of series that I need to finish, and this is one of them. But seriously, people, I cannot stress this again enough times. If you haven't started this book, please read it. I know it looks daunting, but it is such a wonderful, wonderful read. You will love it. Woo! Oh my god. That was a really long tag. It was. Thank you again, Kayla, for tagging me to do this video. It was a lot of fun. So that was the Bookish Academy Awards tag. I will be tagging a couple people. Look for your name down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!